Hi everybody, it's Donna from donnasdreamworks.blogspot.com. I'm making a couple of Easter cards today for a few friends that I have, and I thought I'd just share with you how I put this one together. It's a little bit different for me in that it's a Cricut-less card, but I thought, well, this is a good time to try some of my scraps and some other of my machines besides the Cricut. So I put together this cute little Easter card. I did a lot of stamping prior to getting a Cricut, and it seems that once I got the Cricut I forgot all about stamping, so I thought I'd just use a stamp today and make a pretty Easter card. I have a plain A2 size card, 11 by 8, 5.5 by 8.5, 4 1/4, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5. I'll get that right sooner or later. Typical A2. I have cut my yellow mat 1/4 inch smaller, so that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a strip of designer paper, and I'm sorry, it's from my scrap bin, so I'm not sure where it came from. And this is cut at 2.5 by 4. And I'm going to put a border on both sides of it. And what I did is just make a long strip with my EK Success scallop punch. And I'm going to attach it to this strip with my ATG gun, which I'm sorry I left on the other side of the room. Hold on one second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put some adhesive on the back of this strip and line this up at the bottom. And we'll just trim it off. And I didn't get it quite lined up at the bottom, but we can just trim that off too. Sorry, I was out of the camera. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, lining it up at the bottom. And trimming it off. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that right about here on the card, alright, but I'm going to tie a ribbon around it. And I'm going to use a trick that I saw Janice over at Cricutology use, and I love it. It works very well. I've used an acrylic block to tie my bow. It allows you to get the bow nice and tight, because if you try to pull it on your paper sometimes it bends the paper in and so forth. So now I have it tied, and I'm going to cut it and put it on the card. But I can adhere this down first because that's going over it. Yeah, okay. Now I want the bow to be over here, so I'm going to cut it quite close to the bow on this side. And I'm just going to use the cheater method of some regular tape. Okay. And there you have the mat. Okay, now for my sentiment and my little Easter picture, I did cut one scallop circle with the Cuttlebug, and I'm going to cut a smaller scallop circle to do my stamping on. But what I like to do is to do the stamping first and then center it on the Cuttlebug. So this is just let's see, a Craft Smart stamp, one of Michael's Dollar Bins ones, really. And I've used VersaFine black. And I'm going to use my markers and color it in. I could have used, and probably with markers, should have used Stays On, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of StazOn. It stains the stamp so, and I clean my stamps religiously shortly after I use them, so it's not like I'm leaving the ink on them very long, but it still stains the stamps, so I really prefer to use VersaFine whenever I can. I think I'll do the bow. And sometimes you run into a problem with the ink running a little bit because it's not waterproof like the StazOn is. But generally, if you let it dry a little bit, you won't have that problem. There's a challenge over at, I think it's My Creative Time with Emma. It's Throwback Thursday, and her Throwback Thursday challenge is to make a Cricut-less card. So I'll probably enter this into her challenge this week. And I just got notified that I'm going to be in another blog hop next weekend with an Easter theme, so I'll let you know more about that as soon as I get some details. It'll be exciting. I think Easter colors are so pretty. You know, by the time we finish with Valentine's Day, I really am tired of reds and pinks, because you've just finished with Christmas with the reds, and then you go into New Year's and there's a lot of red in your New Year's cards, and then you go into Valentine's Day and it seems like I'd like to use a color other than red. So, alright, once I have it colored, I take the Cuttlebug, and I'm sure you all seen Cuttlebugs at work before, but the A plate, the B plate, the cardstock, and then I'm just going to center the circle. And make a sandwich. And there you have it. Okay. Now we're just going to attach this one to the purple. And I'm going to pop that up on some foam squares. And I'm a big fan of using a lot of foam squares. I'm going to have to learn how to make them myself because I like to use them too much. But if I'm making a card for somebody, I don't want it to fall apart before they get it, or even after they get it. Oops, that one didn't stick too well. And I think before I attach it to this, I'm going to put this card on. It's easier than doing it once the foam squares are on the card. And there you go. A really simple card that says Happy Easter, and I think my friends will enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with me today at donnasdreamworks.blogspot.com. See ya.